Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Hammer Horror's new film, Dr. Jekyll, and this is from director Joe Stevenson, starring Eddie Izzard themselves as the titular doctor. And this film is a campy, horror, gothic feel that reimagines this classic tale from Robert Louis Stevenson, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And in this film, you have Scott Chambers playing Rob, a young man who has a criminal record, wants to see his daughter, and his ex is still involved in criminal enterprises, and he gets this job helping Dr. Jekyll, played by Izzard. And over the course of this film, which is like a tight hour, 25 minutes without the credits, tells a story of this young man trying to find redemption while also being tempted by darker forces, because there's something to this Dr. Jekyll that he does not automatically see. And really, Izzard's the one that sells this film. They are so charismatic and big with their performance, and as the film progresses and you really see the dimensions to this character and performance, it's a lot of fun. And especially into the climax of this film, that's where the chewing really starts going on with the scenery, and it's a fantastic performance to watch. I think Chambers is fine, but actually gets some fun moments, especially towards the end of the film. Lindsay Duncan is like the house manager type character, and she's such a talented actor, and she brings a lot of good veteran presence. You even get dabbles of Jonathan Hyde and Simon Callow, which was fun, and especially Hyde was very unexpected, and they're fleetingly in the film, but they make an impact where they're there. This film has that campy, old school horror kind of feel that made Hammer so popular. And it's such a fun and engrossing film. It's slow. It doesn't have tons of horror elements throughout. It all builds up to a really impactful and kind of freaky climax that has some fun body horror and stuff like that. It's one of those films that it has the atmosphere, it has the personality, and if you're in it for the whole thing, I think it really pays off by the end. It might turn some people off that there's not enough, horror throughout most of the film, but it's a nice slow burn with personality and atmosphere that builds you up to that point. And this is certainly campy, it is certainly on a low budget, but I feel like Izzard, some of the veteran performers, and a little bit of heart and empathy in the story for Rob, our protagonist, really go a long way in making this a fun and engaging and tight little horror film that this makes me really happy seeing Hammer throwing out new films, and this is such a fun one, and it really works in so many different ways. Like, this isn't, in a year where there's been some great horror, this is not one of the best, but it's one of those kinds of things where it's like, it's so enjoyable along the way that by the end, you're just glad that you had a fun time watching this weird and kooky kind of campy horror flick. But those are my thoughts on Dr. Jekyll. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.